So while pretty much every company has done their summer presentation or at least talked about stuff, there's one company that hasn't. I mean, it's Nintendo. There was supposed to be a Nintendo Direct this past week. Industry insiders and leakers said it was going to happen. YouTube channels were 99.9% sure, and then, I mean, it didn't end up happening. Now it looks like it's happening at the end of June. More people have come out and talked about it. June 28th, 29th, something around that time. But since then, we've gotten a bunch of new information, a bunch of new rumors, and actually a bunch of new leaks that have come out about what to expect at this Nintendo Direct. So I wanted to go over the latest stuff that's happened over the past week with you guys and tell you guys whether I think this information is real or it's just kind of reaching. So the first bit of information that's been floating out there, websites have been talking about it, YouTubers have been talking about it, is the fact that there's going to be new hardware at this, potentially. I know. So basically, this is a really bizarre story. A person from Japan who evidently is a buyer for video game stores or something like that, that's what they claim to be, went out for like an expensive meal with some industry people and like showed pictures of the food and stuff, and then said that they've received some dangerous information about Nintendo. They heard some pre-E3 rumors, but Nintendo is relentless and merciless with the competition. They ponder when it would be released, thinking that Nintendo can't afford to announce what. Obviously, this is hinting at new hardware or something like that. They complained about the handheld mode of resolution of Xenoblade Definitive Edition and Xenoblade 2 and believes that it can be improved now. And then they think that despite the Fire Emblem leak, which we'll talk about in a minute, Nintendo still has hidden gems. And I mean, all of this sounds good on paper, but it's like, who is this? Who is Sega Mega 99? Why are we supposed to believe that this individual is a video game buyer without researching who the individual is? Who, to me, this just looks like somebody who went out for a nice dinner with some friends and was like, hey, let's try to prank some people online. What do I think about this leak or rumor? I think it's a bunch of BS. I don't think there's going to be new hardware at this presentation. If we were to get new hardware announcements from Nintendo, I definitely think it would be towards the end of the year, if they even were to do something like that. But this one, fact or fiction, I'm going with fiction. I don't know, something about this just doesn't smell right, and the fact that this person is just very loosey-goosey with information really makes me believe that they probably don't know what the hell they're talking about. But I might be wrong. What do you think about it? All right, before we get into the next leak, I want to give a huge thank you to Raycon, who is a sponsor for this video with the Everyday Earbuds. What are the Raycon Everyday Earbuds? I'm glad you asked. Quality earbuds shouldn't have to be super expensive, and that's where Raycon comes along with the Raycon Everyday Earbuds that gives you the same top-notch audio quality that the other brands give you at a fraction of the price. Raycon Everyday Earbuds have over 49,000 5-star reviews, and it's easy to see why, as they feature an optimized gel tip that fits perfectly in your ear and is very comfortable as well. You want to make tacos while listening to Gloria Estefan? I mean, you could do that with the Everyday Earbuds.
Do that conga, no, you can't control yourself any longer. Feel the rhythm of the music getting stronger.
You want to work out and are afraid that they might fall out of your ear? Don't worry about that, and work out to your heart's content.
Respect. Walk. What did he say?
And with 8 hours of playtime and 32 hours of battery life, they're gonna last you quite a while as well. I honestly use these every day, whether I'm just doing tasks around the house or working out, and you probably should be using them too. Raycon's Everyday Earbuds feel, look, and sound better than they ever have before, plus they're compatible with Siri and Alexa. So head on over to buyraycon.com/RGT85 to get 15% off your Raycon purchase right now and enjoy high quality audio at a very low price. Be sure to support the brands that support me, and a huge thank you to Raycon for sponsoring this video. Next up, we have one of my favorite franchises to talk about, and that is, of course, Fire Emblem. Now, there's been lots of talk about Fire Emblem. I touched on it on a video earlier this week, but to basically catch you guys up to speed, this information is coming to us from Emily Rogers. Now, some people don't like Emily Rogers and her reporting on stuff. I definitely trust Emily. I've talked to her many times before in the past. Everything she's always told me has been pretty much 100% spot on, so I definitely put a lot of value into what she says, and let's go over this information. All right, so good old Emily made a post over on the Family board saying the following. Here's what I can share about the new Fire Emblem game. Upcoming Fire Emblem is a new game, not a remake, brand new story, collaboration between Intelligent Systems, Koei Tecmo, and Gust, who is a division of Koei Tecmo Holdings. Gust heavily assisted with the visuals and graphics. Graphics are an improvement over Three Houses. Originally intended as an anniversary game to celebrate Fire Emblem's 30th anniversary, the game has been finished for over a year. A main character, a main lord, has strange red and blue hair. His mother is a dragon. New Emblem's gimmick allow players to summon Fire Emblem characters from the past for their squad. I don't plan to share any more details about this game. Many months ago, Nate Drake, aka Nate the Hate, teased about Red and Blue. Everything Nate has teased about the upcoming Fire Emblem game has been accurate. Please be kind to Nate. His information is good and he cares about the Nintendo fan community. First and foremost, screw Nate. He's a bitch. No, I'm just kidding. I love Nate. So what's the takeaway from this? A new Fire Emblem game evidently is completed. It has some weird red and blue mechanic. Actually, right after this information was posted, we ended up getting a picture that was essentially supposedly some images from the game from an early stage of development, and the character had the red and blue hair. So it looks like this information is indeed fact. And I think this could be a good thing. You know, I want to see the expansion of Fire Emblem. Let's get crazy with this franchise because obviously Nintendo cares a lot about it. Let's do Fire Emblem Strikers. Like, I would like to see Fire Emblem played on a soccer field. Fire Emblem Party. I feel like that's a real missed opportunity. Fire Emblem Racing. Race around these sort of medieval style tracks and stuff with your favorite Fire Emblem characters. I think it's a really good thing. I'm hoping that this isn't the only Fire Emblem game there, because I really think they can expand upon it and, you know, do things with it. Now, while I don't doubt that the game is complete, will it show up at the Nintendo Direct? I'm not quite sure about that, because obviously you have Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes still to come out, which is coming out very soon actually for the Nintendo Switch. So do you want to talk about another Fire Emblem game potentially releasing in 2022 at this Nintendo Direct when you still have one that just came out? That will be interesting to see how it's handled. Yes, they are different styles of games. One is a warrior style game. Obviously, this is going to be a more traditional style game, but I think that remains to be seen. So while I think the game is real, I don't necessarily think that it will show up at this Nintendo Direct. This might be a September Nintendo Direct sort of announcement, but I definitely think that this information is 100% real. And the final game we're going to talk about is something that was actually talked about during the Xbox presentation, which I kind of had mixed feelings about that presentation. Make sure you check out my video on that if you haven't yet, of my full breakdown of it. But this involves an RPG franchise that many people hold near and dear to their heart that is finally appearing on Xbox platforms with mainline games, and that is the Persona franchise. Persona 3, 4, and 5, different versions of them, Royale Edition, all sorts of stuff. But basically, Persona 3, 4, and 5 are indeed coming to the Xbox system. They're actually going to be included in Game Pass as well. The first game is Persona 5 Royal that comes out in October on Game Pass. So a lot of people were hyped up about this, but Nintendo fans kind of felt a little bit left out in the cold. They were like, well, hey, where's Persona for the Nintendo Switch? Like, these would be a surefire hit on the system. People would probably want to play these games portably and natively portably on a handheld system, and it just seems weird that these games aren't indeed there. Now, there has been some rumors and rumblings about these games indeed coming to a Nintendo platform, that these could potentially be a part of a Nintendo Direct. Some insiders have sort of hinted at it, but then we got another little interesting piece of information. So VishGod69, I like that name, basically found a website that was having a listing for Persona 5 Royal for the Nintendo Switch, right alongside with the PS5, the PS4, and the Xbox versions of these games. Obviously, this is hinting at a physical version of the game. A lot of people have been sort of running with this, saying, well, maybe it's a mistake, maybe there's something to it. Who really knows, and who's really to say? Now, when you couple that with the other information that we've gotten from people, basically saying, hey, don't worry if you're a Persona fan, it looks like it is coming to the Nintendo Switch as well. I kind of tend to believe that this is sort of a do or die situation for Persona. I don't think that these games are 100% a lock to be coming to the Switch, but if they are indeed coming to the system, this is the time to do it. If this Nintendo Direct happens and there is no Persona 3, 4, and 5 announced for the Switch, they're not coming. Point blank, period. This is the opportunity. This is the window you want to do it in. You're doing these games on the Xbox. You'll want to do these games on the Switch. You'll do them right alongside of each other. If you don't see Persona show up at this event, it's not happening. Stick with your Persona 5 Strikers and your offshoot games, because that's what you're getting on the Switch. If you want these games and you want to play these games, you're going to have to buy another console. You're going to have to play these games elsewhere because they're not coming to the Switch. So, when I look at this information, I do tend to sort of lean into the fact that these are indeed coming to the Switch. I sort of, you know, deep down in my heart, I want to believe that this is fact, but if they don't come to the Switch at this Nintendo Direct, they are so much fiction. Like, Stephen King can write the book on this about the Persona mystery, about why Persona never came to the Switch, because I mean, it would sell, like it would sell pretty well. And I think a lot of people would like to see it on there. So I do think there's something to it. Just something in my gut tells me there is, but if we don't see it at this event, you're never going to see it. Alrighty, so those are the latest leaks and rumors from the Nintendo Direct presentation that is evidently happening at the end of this month. So I want to hear your guys' feedback on it. What do you think about these 3 things that I proposed? Is there new hardware at this event? Because I don't think so. Is Fire Emblem going to be at this event? I think there's a good chance, but would they want to put it up so close to Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes? And Persona, is it do or die for Persona on the Nintendo Switch at this point? I definitely think it is, and if you don't see it there, you're probably never going to see it. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Make sure you check out the Turtles video from earlier, or yesterday actually, where, I don't know, maybe I'm giving away a copy of Turtle Shredder's Revenge. Maybe I'm giving away 2 copies of Turtle Shredder's Revenge. Who knows? I guess you'll have to watch the video to find out. Huge thank you to Raycon for sponsoring this video as well. Make sure you guys check out that link in the description box down below. Support the brands that support me. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.